Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am so happy that you are here with me for today's reading as we look into any obstacles or challenges that we may be facing or overcoming at this time. Please know that whenever you have clicked on this video, it is meant for you at that point in your journey. If there's any information throughout the reading that does not resonate with you, please feel free to let that go. If there is information that you connect with, I would encourage you to continue to process that information even when the video has finished. Before we get started, I would encourage you to take a few deep breaths. And as you inhale and exhale, focus on letting go anything that may be heavy on your mind and heart, so that you may be open to hear through the reading. As you inhale and exhale, you can ask Source or Universe if there are any signs or symbols for you to see, as well as if you've presented a question before listening to the video that your heart would be open to hearing. Also, as you inhale and exhale, focus on releasing any tension or tightness or weight that you feel throughout your body or any particular area in your body. The decks that I am using today are the Star Tarot and Soul Truth Self-Awareness cards. If you're interested in them, please feel free to look at the information and click the links in the description box below. So let's look at our first card. It is the Eight of Wands. Next we have the Moon. Three of Swords. Six of Swords. And Seven of Pentacles. So when we think of the Eight of Wands, we think of movement, of electricity, of new perspectives, passion. It could be, when I look at this card, definitely that aha moment, something you've realized something recently. You can see it through the lightning bolts, the electricity bolts, it coming from the center of something. So maybe you've come into truth, you've come into information you did not know before, and it's resonating with you and connecting with you, which is wonderful. What may be an obstacle or a challenge is if you are in a mental block right now, if you have a lot of distractions surrounding you, maybe you are procrastinating or lacking information. This card here is definitely encouraging you to return to your passion, to return to the start, the beginning, and really find what will electrify you again. Find what will ignite that passion again. Why did you start? Why did you begin this? Why did you set that goal? This card definitely is encouraging you to minimize those distractions that are around you. If you're dragging, find an outlet, whether it's exercise, writing, reading, you fill in the blank, meditation, to help you center yourself again, to really gain that energy, that electricity. Man, it is just jumping off this card. The electricity, that fire within you to move forward and to move on. Next, we have the Moon. And when we think of the Moon in tarot, it definitely can represent facing fear, the unknown, transformation, changes, life cycles. Like the Moon, it goes through cycles, and it can represent facing the unknown through fear. You might have fear of facing that unknown. So when we look at an obstacle or challenge, maybe you are afraid of that change. Maybe there is change that needs to happen and you fear what is going to be on the other side. You have a lot of those what ifs. What if this happens? What if I do that? What if I don't do that? And you can see on the card, there is a path that is leading towards the moon, the light of the night. And while that path is a little bit of a zigzag, it does reach the top of that mountain. And as we know, life isn't always straightforward. It isn't straight from A to Z. There could be turns and twists. And speaking of Eight of Wands, maybe some distractions that we have to resolve. So if you are fearing that change, know that there is light, there is source, there are resources, there is a support base that you can find. If you don't have it right now, there are resources on the internet that you can look for to provide that support. I see up here as well in the corner, on the upper left corner is an owl. Definitely showing signs of wisdom, of insight, of knowledge, of being able to move through the night. With the wolves as well, the yin and the yang. They're howling at the night. Maybe you need to find a release. You just need to be able to yell. You need to be able to have your voice heard. Whatever that looks like for you, the moon is calling you definitely to do that. If you are in a challenging situation, find courage, find strength. And it could be that you are also, when we look at the moon, you're resisting what we call the dark night of the soul. Going in and looking at our weaknesses, at our faults. We all have them, friends. Going and seeing what it is that we need to work on to become who we were meant to be, to fulfill our purpose, to find that inner strength, maybe a new skill that we didn't know that would benefit ourselves and those around us. So it could be that the obstacle is coming full circle, that fear of the unknown. Life is full of unknowns, friends. That won't change. So if that is your block and your obstacle, I would encourage you, just like the cycles of the moon that are on the two pillars here, to begin that step. Because when we do, we can reach where we need to go. There's light, there is support there as well. Next, we have the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords itself in tarot speaks of sorrow, loss, grief, a heavy heart, a painful breakup, could even be despair and hopelessness. So when I look at this card, you could be in that situation right now. You are experiencing a grave sense of loss or a heartbreak, and you wonder, can I move forward? What does this look like? How do I get through this? And this card is just such a beautiful representation for me of the other side of that. I'll hold it a little bit closer. You can see the rain, almost teardrops from the heavens, teardrops from the sky, saying, it feels your pain. Source knows, higher power, the angels, they know your pain. They're shedding the tears with you. And as I say that, if you look close, I'll hold it up. There's two angels on the either side of this individual, whispering, wanting you to listen, begging you to hear. Open your heart, open your mind. There are messages for you to hear and receive, whether it's through readings like this, whether it's gaining knowledge through books or your faith or your family, your friends, or practices that you partake in. There's information there, and it's encouraging us through our pain and our grief to do our best to keep our heart open. And as I say that too, friends, I'll try to hold it up close. Down at the bottom is an outline of a purple lotus, and in it is a purple butterfly. Butterfly's all about transformation, metamorphosis, new beginnings, new life. So through that cleansing, through the tears, go ahead and shed the tears. It's okay to shed tears. It does not make you any less of a person or weaker. Honestly, tears shows strength. It shows the ability to be resilient, to rise above and rise again. And when we do, those tears, you can see, are becoming like crystal and then transform into stars. So when we're open to not staying stuck in our grief and our pain, our loss, our heartbreak, there's beauty that comes out of it. There is that beautiful transformation of healing from those wounds, of becoming the light that we were meant to be, becoming again that individual who's able to provide that energy to others, even if it's through similar situations. You now can be a support for someone who comes after you through that pain, through that situation. It could also be here, I see her hands are down in her hands, her head, is down in her hands. It could be that you have recently received disappointing information or truth that you had been avoiding because you had a gut feeling, you had an inclination that that was what is happening. It could be in relation to someone, a situation, a work environment. Again, the source angels are there to say, you can push through this. Often truth, friends, it can be freedom. It can also sting before the freedom. It can also be painful before the freedom. So if you are in that situation where you've received painful truth, this card here is to let you know, don't allow it to be an obstacle. Don't allow it to overcome you. If you are having that sense of overwhelmed through your pain, through your grief, or the truth, know that there is support and there's beauty on the other side. Next, we have Six of Swords. And when we think of Six of Swords, it's definitely transformation, travel, new potential, healing, guidance, and it also represents coming out of a difficult situation, pain, and into something new, which is very interesting, friends. As I say that, it's right behind the Three of Swords. So this, if you're wanting confirmation of will the conflict resolve, will the pain go away, this card here is indicator that in time it will. And you can see the individual is wrapped up tight in a blanket, almost like a chrysalis, like a butterfly, and traveling along life and moving forward. And as you see, the swords are pointing, excuse me, friends. For some reason, I'm having a hard time talking today, which in and of itself can be an indicator if you understand what I'm saying. But the swords are pointing up, are pointing to the sun, are pointing towards the light. So if you are open, and here you see the two orcas are guides. So your guides are there. There are support systems. Your higher power, whatever it is that you connect to, is there to support you and guide you through. It could be that you are questioning whether you should travel, you should move, you should transition to a new job. It's not always leaving, to another state, a country, and so forth. It could be taking a big step in your life, a decision that maybe you are concerned about making, and that's your obstacle. That's your hindrance of moving forward. The Six of Swords is definitely saying, take it. There is that support there for you. You could be, in essence, when I see the butterfly here and I see him or the individual wrapped in the blanket, it could be that you are refusing to let go, to grow, to move forward. Going back to that dark night of the soul of the moon, is there something that would be for your better self to change? Maybe you know it in your heart. Maybe you've had individuals pointed out to you recently, along your recent journey, even throughout your journey. These cards here are saying there is support, there is guiding, there is a higher power if you align with that. So take that to heart. Grab that, hold on to that, and do the inner work, and allow yourself not to be resistant so that you can have that electricity again, that passion, that life, that energy that may be missing. When I look at the Six of Swords as well, with how content the individual is there a situation that maybe the pain is caused from it being an unhealthy situation, even a toxic situation? Is it time for you to let go? Are you resisting letting go? And that is your obstacle. That has been what is hindering you, or your challenge. And this card here is saying it's time to consider that as well. Our last tarot card in the reading is our Seven of Pentacles. And when we think of Seven of Pentacles, it's definitely finding and following your passion, your purpose, reaching those goals, success, new ideas, imagination, and creativity. So a challenge that you may have, or a obstacle that you may have, is for that piece of success. As I look at the sunflowers and the roses and the beautiful butterflies, they also represent the different colors of the chakra as well. If you see the butterflies going across the dress, they're all the different colors of the chakra. So are you not looking long term? Are you not looking into what is your long-term goal? What is your long-term perspective and vision for where you and even your family unit, your partnership, relationship need to be? Are there ideas, when I think of the chakra, that need to be cleansed, plucked out? Are they old ideas? Are they outgrown ideas? Have you outgrown ideas? Are there ideas that need, or beliefs that need a new perspective? Kind of going back to that dark night of the moon, the guidance that is being offered. When I look at that, I see the horses above as well. They are in motion. You can see they're guiding through life, floating through life. So are you open to receiving that new information? Maybe with the heart, the picture of the heart right in the middle of the heart chakra, the chest. Are you questioning your purpose? Are you questioning, is this it? Is there nothing more? The Seven of Pentacles would encourage you to look into that. What is the root that's causing you to question that way? What is the root that's having that feeling and emotion attached to your spirit at this time and your mind at this time? It could be, again, you need new ideas. You need a new perspective, seeking resources, information from friends, family, possibly a professional, which there is nothing wrong with that. It is not a sign of weakness. Again, it's actually a sign of strength. When we choose to do that work and heal ourselves and become who we were meant to be, it is a sign definitely of strength, and one that you are able then to stand firmer in your gifts and your skills and your purpose here. So the Seven of Pentacles may be calling you to do that. Also, when I look at the horses up at the top, the butterflies, just the field of flowers, the harvest, and thinking of the guides throughout the reading that are here, are you being called to do something different? Are from source, your higher power? Are you not responding to that higher call? Are you not responding to the next step in your career, in your life, in your journey? You know what this is speaking to. So this card here is indicating, as free as the horses are floating and flying, that this could be what is hindering you right now, to let that go, to get back into that balance of life. You know, I come back to the moon, the sun rises, the moon sets, so forth and so, the moon rises, the sun sets. So that ebb and flow of life, the yin and yang of life, rebalancing yourself and refocusing and being willing to respond to that higher calling. And then our last card is from the Soul Truth card deck. And what I like about this card deck is there is a message at the top, and then on the bottom section it has what's called today's soul action. So let's see what this card represents. On the outside of the card it says, what excuses am I making right now? Interesting. Speaking of obstacles and challenges, we know that excuses can be a big part. Not moving forward, staying stuck, not allowing the transformation, having a lack of energy, and kind of not pushing ourselves to find that passion again, being re-energized. So let's see what the message is. It says, no more waiting. There will never be a good enough time. The time is now. And then it says, for today's soul action, if it's important enough to you, you will find a way. Today, make a decision and do it. Even if you don't feel ready, listen to your heart. You will be led. Wow. I don't think I could summarize the reading any better than that. It has that right, this card right here has touched on pretty much every aspect of the reading that came through. So let me read this card one more time before we close out the reading. No more waiting. There will never be a good enough time. The time is now. If it's important enough to you, you will find a way. Today, make a decision and do it even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart. You will be led. I hope, my friends, that this information has helped. I hope it has provided insight for you. Information. Hopefully it has provided answers if you presented a question. And as always, my friends, love and light to you.